Welcome back to Camp Confidential, your exclusive look behind the scenes at Majesticks GC. I guess I've been here for about a week now. I know everybody, that's Jordan, FYI. He's in charge of Little Sticks. It's a great initiative, but I'm just trying to figure out how they find that balance between golf and everything else.
Oh, here we go. Good morning.
Did my gym session this morning, was not very motivated at all. Are you recording all this? You got some nice little B-roll, yeah. Paul was absolutely me.
Don't get mad.
He's had a busy week. He's just in tatters. 4 gym sessions. Ah, you son of a bitch! Go on.
Become the best of me. I'm doing my job. That includes whipping and keeping the recipes. I cannot stop.
I've never enjoyed the gym. You know, I used to drive to work and pick up McDonald's breakfast on the way to work every day. Can I borrow this for a minute?
That's something you don't get in other teams, is it?
Yeah. Sharing the
What,
medication.
sharing? That's another thing you don't normally get. Working your ass off, watching the horse racing whilst working out in the morning. That's great, isn't it?
I've tried to reinvent myself over the last 30 years, every year. Just make small gains everywhere.
Westy, I don't want you saying anything about me lifting digestive biscuits, so you can off right now if you're going to stand over there, start laughing and taking the piss, all right? 1, 2, 9. We've all got niggles and little injuries and bits and pieces, and they all need managing.
It's a great challenge because there are not many 48, 49, 50-year-olds that are still competing at the top level of their sport. So that in itself then brings different challenges from a motivational perspective. You know, how driven are they to get up every morning and go about the same routines that they've done for the last 35 years?
Having the mental sharpness and fortitude to want to keep working at it is the toughest part as you get older.
And then clearly, ligaments and tendons don't get better as you go through the ages.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel it a little bit,
Yeah,
but it's like, you know.
better there.
I've been observing this session, of course, and it's very apparent that everyone's doing a lot of different stuff. Obviously, Ian's even got his own trainer here. How difficult is it to manage?
Lee, extremely knowledgeable. He's well established and he's got a long training history now. Sam, young developing athlete, and then also he's had an issue with his hip. So I would suggest, these are finishing off anyway, aren't they? You can do your step up one and just try to that one, just on your step up across in your position, and then your inside grip. He's working on his areas of strength and weaknesses to build up around that area to prevent that happening again. And then we've got Ian Poulter. Yes, there you are, mate, look. There we go.
Steve's great. I've known Steve since like 2006, 7. He's good at his job, like the stats don't lie, right? I've seen strength gains. I've seen the love handles sort of go away a little bit.
Lee is extremely enthusiastic about working out. Probably ask him that when he was 32, that probably wasn't the case. You know, he really enjoys then other disciplines away from the course that may involve more social activities. So constantly for him would be, okay, managing weight or looking at nutrition and how does that fluctuate over the course of the year to give him the appropriate balance in his life, and that's the case for Lee. It's in no way, shape or form do I dictate. I just potentially say I hold them to account of what they're trying to achieve. So if we're all at basketball yesterday and everyone's took it into burgers and ice cream, then this morning I will be saying to Ian, you know, that ice cream that you had yesterday maybe is not the most effective way for leaning up.
It was awesome.
Right, yeah.
It was vanilla ice cream with a little bit of Oreos. I burnt it all off this morning.
Did you have
that I know.
the caramel sauce?
Yeah.
No, I had no caramel sauce.
Oh, I had the
No,
caramel
mean,
sauce, but I'm not the athlete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, Steve
Yeah.
trained me to not have the caramel sauce.
Hang on.
There's definitely no frustration from my perspective because similarly I'm older. So I'm a bit more experienced. And so undoubtedly, if you would have been speaking to me at 24 or 25 when I was first working in team sport environment, then I would have been frustrated if the individual I thought wasn't doing things the particular way that I saw was important. Over time, what you start to recognize is that, well, we're working in elite sport and it's the top percent of the top percent, and therefore then it has to be individually prescribed.
All right, yeah, we ate noodles last night, we had a burger, and but no, diet is one of the strongest aspects. So, you know, I've got a goal for end of January, so I know I can trim that down. So the odd little bit of ice cream, even though Steve doesn't like it, I know I can cut that off really fast and drop weight really quickly.
I don't think there's any magic. From a sports science and sports medicine perspective, I think the key is to be objective as much as you can. Is at the end of the year, will the players turn around and say, yeah, we met our objectives? And if they have achieved their objectives, that will be really rewarding to me. And so that's where I would really like to see.
It's nice to take on new challenges, certainly away from the golf course. You know, it's you know, much more of a team atmosphere.
Golf, before Live, has never ever been a team sport. It's always been individual. Everything, it's always just been about me, me, me. I just want to be the best for me. And, you know, like now I wake up in the, you know, if I don't feel like doing, you know, working out or something, there's a bigger purpose to it.
What have you been doing up to now this last couple of days?
So we went through each of our stats.
And how did yours stack up?
My putting from 6 to 20 feet, I'm like almost last on Live. But inside of 6 feet, I'm second.
There's a motto there, just hit them close.
Exactly. My dad and I have had a great relationship. Every day when I get home from school, we go out to the golf course and he'd drive me around, and then he'd sit under his tree, he'd call it the shade tree, and have his beers. You remember like growing up and stuff, like having like a practice program and like having something to practice with, so.
String lime and metronome.
Exactly, yeah.
It is. You've been there, done that, you know what that's all about, right?
Exactly. At this level, it's such fine-tuning margins that...
It was at every level, not just this level.
I know, but this level is even more. Thinking back, you know, when we were driving around the car at Highlands Reserve where I grew up when I was, you know, 10 years old, to think about it, you know, 17 years later, here we are at, you know, Lake Nona in Ian's house just shooting the shit, you know, it's like, whoa, what just happened, you know, sort of thing. Not very many 27-year-olds get to say, you know, they get to be around three very big names in the game, in the history of the game of golf, you know, week in and week out, so.
Do they give you a lot of advice, like when you're out at tournaments and stuff?
Yeah, they give me quite a bit of advice. I would say it would be more off-course stuff, to be honest with you. Right. Just more about like life and just being more of like a big brother role, you know, almost sort of like. For me, maturing as a golfer, but also as a person, you know, being around the guys, they're immature, but obviously they're really mature, right? You know what I mean? You know, in terms of life and the way they handle life. So it would be great to be perfect, but obviously no one's perfect. You know, I think Mr. Ian Poulter likes to think he's perfect. So he's as close as you're gonna get to perfect.
What have you been doing up to now this last couple of days then?
So we did Little Sticks filmings. That was really cool actually. Like, so Jordan, the guy who's done that, he's done an amazing job of like creating these games for the kids, like the curriculum for that.
Right chaps, let's gather in. As you know, our Little Sticks program is underway, and you're all going to be delivering these activities, or you're going to be playing them yourselves as a demonstration. I'm Jordan Stevenson. I head up all the community and impact initiatives for Majesticks GC. We're going to need you to be really enthusiastic, maybe a little bit childish, perhaps. And the most important thing is to make sure that these life skills are really fundamental within all of this. So being respectful and all of the different things around teamwork and resilience will kind of come through when you play them.
I think we've all been pretty much blown away with his commitment, his knowledge, his drive.
You hit it, you put the club down, you grab the ball.
Yeah, I've got a double gym workout this morning.
Yes! I like kids.
He loves golf. He loves making a difference to people. And I think more than anything else, his commitment to his job to want to help others just shines through.
So, should we start at the top?
Yeah.
Little Sticks, your baby. Why Little Sticks?
So we know golf is a brilliant activity for children to engage with, particularly children from deprived areas or with special educational needs. and we're using it as a vehicle to develop life skills.
Sports is phenomenal in that sense, right? You have to function within a team and try and learn together and encourage each other and show respect.
Golf replicates life so much more than any other sport, I think. It makes sense to take it to young people and impact and improve their life.
So for us, we're using our players and all they've achieved in the game and look actually, how have they achieved that? What skills have they needed to be successful? I mean, if you look at Lee, for example, Lee's been professional for more than 30 years at the very top of the game. The level of resilience and the level of those life skills Lee's demonstrated, I think there's a lot to learn from that.
Whenever you're ready.
Try and control your emotions. It's not easy with Corky the Clown juggling in the background.
Is he off-putting?
Always.
How do you deal with this?
I've not known the guys very long, so I'm still bottom of the pecking order, so I don't quite know where I stand with everyone. So
we give him half a point, don't we?
I'll take half a point.
You have this, don't you?
Yeah.
A little bit. This isn't just me. This isn't about me. It's not about my experience. It's about what the team stands for. To come into this environment with ultimately some of my heroes was when I was younger, but equally with fantastic colleagues who believe in the work and believe in what we can achieve, just to give me the freedom to make it happen is a real privilege for someone in my field. I mean, from my perspective, I've never been around these multi-millionaire golfers before, and my biggest takeaway from it all is they still eat the food that we eat. They don't live any other lives apart from maybe bigger houses and more cars. But ultimately, the thing that has amazed me the most is working with these players, that they care so much. People say about Majesticks and well, the raging golfers, and as a team they don't really care, they just care about the money. The guys really care.
Looking back at our sport, and this goes for like no matter take away what tours and leagues and all the rest, I think golf has been phenomenal at giving back. I got my own personal things that I do in Sweden with junior golf and para golf and foundation and so on. Here it's almost like we're using golf to do something bigger and broader as well.
Inside this shell, that there is a giving side that I always want to give back. People around me know who I am, what I stand for, and I enjoy it.
Ian, for example, you see the passion he has in the Ryder Cup, but then ultimately you also have seen him with his cars and all the other things that ultimately come to define what the public sees somebody. But 6-7 months now of being able to spend time with Ian, being able to spend time about who he stands for, who he is as a person. Ian uses his connections and Ian uses his influence, not for himself, but for other people. And for me, that is, out of everything that I've experienced so far with Majesticks GC, that man and the Porters in general, I'm absolutely blown away by their commitment to other people.
Ian, this room is pretty beautiful, and it's, I guess, going to have a kind of beautiful event here the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Tell us and everyone about what's going to happen here.
So every year we do a charity event, Ian Poulter Charity Classic. It benefits Dream Flight, which I've been supporting for 13 years. Getting to know Pat and her team. She had a little vision 34 years ago to just bring a plane full of kids to Florida to enjoy Disney and give them a break from obviously their weekly, daily troubles that they have. They can see for themselves that they're not alone and that they really can do something for themselves. We scoop all the cars out, we position them outside, and we turn this into a 200-seated dinner. She's brought over 6,500 kids now.
How can you then support them to...
Well, it's always hard, right? But that's a massive financial burden.
Yeah.
The trip's $1.2 million, $1.4 million to put on, depends on the exchange rate and however things go. No pressure, keep going. I go on the begging kind of phone calls of, is there any chance you can help us out for Dreamfly? We got some really great guests that come along, and look, last year we raised 1.6 million on the night, which...
That's a crazy number.
It blew me away.
What he does with his charity event, it's staggering. Ian will want to give off the impression that he doesn't care what people think. He does. He deeply cares about what people think, and he therefore deeply cares about a lot of other people. So yeah, whether it's what he's been doing for the team this week, his charity event, he's also a control freak on a slightly lighter note. So we will try and help out with certain things, and
Control freak. I'm a control freak. If there's something to be done, I like to think that I know someone that can help us out to get something done. So I don't think about it. It's just like, it's normal for me, and that's what I like to do.
I don't think he gets the credit for it, but equally I don't think he shouts about it enough either. If I would give $50,000 to a charity, I think I'd be telling everybody. Whereas the man raises millions every year, and really you don't hear about it. So for me, the juxtaposition of Ian as a person is not only the golfer, not only the personality that you see on social media, but the family and the Poulters in general, and obviously him as a person. You can't underestimate the work that they do and the heart that they have.
Been around for a couple of days and I've seen different people working on it, what goes into it. Ian brought all these 17 boxes pretty much himself as well, lugging them in here. He's obviously got to sign all of the flags. A lot of work goes into it. Why?
Pat, her vision, what she's done for these kids, the change in their confidence and what it is they get out of these trips. Dreamflight changes lives. It does, and I just love working with Pat and her team.
I guess how has it affected you being involved with the charity so deeply and for such a long time, like you have been with Dreamflight? I mean, you must have some incredible and possibly heartbreaking stories.
So, there's always those very, very sad stories, but you just hope that you gave them a wonderful time while they were with us, and that it's just great. So there are sad stories, and there are obviously some great stories where, kids have gone on to be Paralympians. They've gone on, from a business interest, it's really given them the confidence to boost themselves, and that's the reason why Dreamflight does great stuff.
What is happening? Why are we just sat here on the golf course, James?
Through the season, one of the cool things that happened is that on a Wednesday, so Thursday's Pram Day, on a Wednesday, the guys would all team up together and play a bit of a match. The match is normally the young ones, which Henrik's getting away with murder there, being considered a young one just because his partner was Sam, versus Ian and Lee generally. They probably played 6 last year, 5 or 6, and Ian and Lee came up trumps every time.
Is it usually friendly or is it super competitive? When they come out here, obviously they want to win when they go and play competitions, but here do they care if they win or lose?
Yeah, I think bragging rights are always important. I mean, they should be hopefully paying attention to prepping for the course and the tournament that week, but any chance for a little bit of needle or a little bit of bragging is something they cover, as you will soon find out.
Come on, oldies! Woo! The oldies are here. Who am I going to support? Well, I'm going to go the underdogs, the youngies, because these guys are apparently 5 or 6 up in this head-to-head they have. So I love an underdog story. Come on, Sam and Henrik. First shot, Ian. That was not too bad.
No, I've got more club face there than I have in the last 15 minutes on the range. See that? That's called 5 weeks in the gym. I've just out-driven Westy, and I'm only 3 yards behind Henrik Stenson.
How do you keep up with the characters?
It's hard. It's hard.
Like,
it's just constant, everyday shit. Just shit every day.
Never had a bad day with the boys. They're exactly how you see them. They're just funny, like to mess with each other. Henrik and Ian are always winding each other up.
Rocket.
Rocketing, flyer.
I'm going to want to beat all of the guys as much as they're going to want to beat me. There's still, you still have to have that level of fight in you. Sit. You're playing against them, but with them, and it's good to have it.
So you got the edge today on these guys?
Go on then. Go on then.
I think so. They look rusty.
Moving on swiftly.
All square.
I mean, Henrik thinks he's quite good.
I know he's quite good because he is good.
Yeah, that's me.
I'll take him down next year. It's fine, and I'll be really happy if he kicks on and finishes first. Because go team Majesticks.
For Ian is like there's two little horns that grow out, and he's just like, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's shooting hoops or catching a ball or whatever. It's like he just wants to win at everything. I think he's just like the ultimate competitor in that sense.
Play 2 holes, 16, 17, all pars, really boring. It all comes down to this on the 18th hole. We need to adapt and evolve as a team to keep pushing whatever boundaries we can push.
We travel together, we play practice rounds together, and you try and support each other and so on. So there's just that dynamic that you have in a team, and that's fun.
Obviously, this is kind of friendly competition, but really, how much importance do you guys put on moments like this of just kind of building a kind of team camaraderie and practice?
You say it's friendly, but let me tell you, they don't forget. And you know, the oldies, they've been doing pretty well in this, and they don't let the young boys forget about it too quickly.
Golf is probably one of the few sports where people can enjoy longer careers, but we're seeing now that the talent pool of younger players coming through, you know, is robbing elder players of jobs just because they're that much stronger, faster, more athletic. So it's incredibly challenging, I would say, for, you know, these elder players to kind of, you know, hang in there.
Tony, how is it when you watch Sam out there?
Good fun, yeah. I enjoy it, yeah.
Do you come out quite often and just watch it?
As much as I can, yeah. Probably 3 tournaments a year, and then bits of stuff like this, you know.
Yeah.
As well.
Absolutely on the frozen rope, straight down the middle. I've known Sam since he was 13. Terry, my caddy, said to me, as a kid, I wanted to play golf with him. He's awesome. So I'm like, yeah, bring him over, let's have a game. So we played 9 holes and he never missed a fairway, didn't miss a green, shot level par. And I was like, holy shit, that's really impressive. Sam, how far you got?
135.
Tell you what, that was loaded with spin.
The guys are still hungry to try, and they really want this. And so I'm incredibly positive, I think, about what the opportunity for us as a franchise is next year.
It all comes down to this. He shoved it. Oh, the old is again. It's been a pleasure yet again. Thank you, Samuel. Oh, partner.
We'll get him next year, Henrik.
I'm very competitive, but there's also times where I feel like, all right, kids, you can, yeah. I'd rather win on the Sunday than win on the Wednesday, if I put it that way.
Love it. I'm not rolling over for no one.
If you've enjoyed this behind the scenes look, head over to LiveX and sign up to be a Majesticks GC fan.